Hello, everyone. Welcome to the March 2026 edition of Book Brewers Meeting. Yay! Right. So, as per usual, as much as we can, we would like to invite everyone to share the book they have read this past a month or two. And then the reason why we do this is to grow together. We want to foster the the effort for lifelong learning. Okay. And then as an adult, sometimes it's difficult to do because no one told us to do it. So we tell each other now. Right. And then I think we have several people coming, and I saw the list on WhatsApp group. Donald will talk about the catalyst. I will talk about industrial revolution. Kak Mita about Wasiat Sufi, Ayatollah Khomeini, rest in peace. And then Gusti later on, I hope she will come. She will talk about the outliers.
It just
Okay.
come.
Oh, she's here. The outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. Before we continue, I would like to remind everyone of the question. Yeah. Of course, this question is only a suggestion. You can come up with your own idea what to talk about your book. Okay, so the title, why did you decide to read it? What are the key takeaways? Is there any question you like to discuss? Any question from the audience? Let's start with Donald to kick off this meeting. Go ahead, Donald.
Okay, thank you, Bibi. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity. The title of the books, I will follow the questions. The title of the book is The Catalyst, and the subtitle is How to Change Anyone's Mind. This is a book about how to make changes in other people, but not by persuasion. That is emphasized by the author. Usually, the approach in changing someone's mind is to push harder. We try to become a better persuader to make the changes. But this book takes a different approach, which comes from the world of chemistry. In the world of chemistry, there is a substance called catalyst. And what happened with catalyst is that usually chemical reaction requires a minimum amount of energy to happen. But a catalyst can reduce the amount of energy required. So based on that idea from the chemistry world, it is taken over to the world of changing people. The approach taken by this book is not by persuading harder or pushing harder, which is similar or analogous to giving more energy. Instead, it is reducing the required amount of energy. This translates to reducing the roadblocks or the barriers to change. Why did you decide to read the book? Because the title and the subtitle is very interesting. It's about changing people. It can be applied to many different situations. So I think it is an important book, and that's why I decided to read it. What are your key takeaway? Oh, and one more thing is that the author also wrote another book that I enjoyed in the past. The title is Contagious, about why an idea became viral. That's another book by this author, Jonah Berger, a professor of marketing in Wharton. Wharton is a top business school. What are your key takeaway from the books? This book uses a framework. This is easy to remember because the abbreviation is REDUCE. REDUCE, reduce. Reduce stands for R, reactance, E, endowment, D, distance, U, uncertainty, and CE, corroborating evidence. Reactance is the reaction of people when someone try to persuade this person. They will subconsciously try to reject. So they want to assert their autonomy. So they reject it. That is called reactance. So the job of a catalyst is to reduce reactance. The second part is endowment. Even when people do not feel defensive or reactance, they have inertia. They are attached to what they are doing now. And this is called the endowment effect. The longer someone has something or has done something, the more they feel attached to it. So the second job of a catalyst is to ease endowment, reduce reactance, and then ease endowment. And the third one is D, distance. Distance, it is described as a zone. So imagine a football field. There are different zones, and you want to try to get people from the other zone to your zone. But everyone has something called zone of acceptance and zone of rejection. If you give an idea or a suggestion to someone and it falls in the zone of rejection, it will be rejected right away. If it falls in their zone of acceptance, it will be accepted or at least considered. So distance is about how to bring people to go through this distance in the imagine of football field, where everyone has their zone of acceptance and rejection. So that is D. You want to take people through this field, through their zone of acceptance and rejection. Next, U, uncertainty. Uncertainty means that people are averse against things that are uncertain. Even if the decision is quite clear, but if there are uncertainty around it, people are hesitant to make the decision. It is called uncertainty tax. And therefore, the job of a catalyst is to reduce this uncertainty. And next, the last one is the corroborating evidence. Corroborating evidence is on top of all the other four, REDU, you may need to give more evidence for these people to change their mind. So it is like a complementary step on top of the others. So these are the steps, REDU and corroborating evidence. And then the books give steps for each, how to do the R, reactance, and then the E, endowment, and then the distance part, and the uncertainty and corroborating evidence. So all in all, I think this book is very useful for people who are thinking of making changes because it's very practical, very easy to read, a lot of examples, and scientific based. The author is again a top professor in a top business school. Next, is there a question that you would like to discuss? No? Any question from the audience?
Thank you for the description. Any question from the audience, especially those who want to make changes? I saw.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Fajar.
Recently, I read in Twitter. It says that it is in Islam, yeah. Even Muhammad cannot change his his car. I think most.
Oh, sorry, Fajar, I cannot hear clearly. Maybe it is my connection. I'm not sure.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Pipit, can you
Yeah,
hear?
I very vaguely. Fajar, can you be closer to the mic?
Okay, so now,
Yeah.
so there is a saying. Nabi Muhammad cannot change his car who stays in non-Islamic. And then I think there is some prophet, maybe Moses, who cannot change his son to stay, who basically who cannot, they are still stubborn. And there is a saying that Nabi aja nggak bisa merubah orang, jadi kenapa kita mencoba mengubah orang lain, something like that. How do you get the question? So I think that the question is, we want to change someone, but at the same time, it's very, very hard, you know. So, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so I only get the last sentence, so maybe I lose the context. Yeah, so the last sentence is you try to change someone, but it is very, very hard. So how do you do about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so based on this book, you need to analyze why the person, what is the barrier? Why haven't the person changed already? So that is the starting question of this book. Instead of trying to pushing harder, we ask, what is the barrier to change for these people? What is the cause that make them reluctant to change? And then based on that, this book has this five formula, REDUC. Yeah, so we can use, it can be just one barrier or multiple barriers. So first of all, we need to diagnose which one. Is it reactance? Is it endowment? Is it distance? Is it uncertainty? Or they need corroborating evidence. So these are five barriers actually. So it's like playing doctor. You diagnose which one, and then you have the prescription.
Donald, I have a request. Can you please write down those five? It's easier to take in the information in written form, so we can also take a note of it somewhere. Now, while you do that, I have a question. Is there strategies to make changes in an authoritarian system in which basically it's very difficult to change? So, what are the suggested strategies from this book?
This book doesn't talk about nation scale change. This is a marketing book anyway, so it talks only about individuals and at most a group. A group is one segment in marketing. So this is a marketing book. It doesn't talk about revolutions,
About changing people's
entire
mind,
nations. Oh, no.
about changing someone's mind then.
One individual.
Yeah, someone's mind.
Yeah, if you can
Yeah.
give a case, because you need to diagnose the cause. I already written in the chat. There
Oh,
are
okay. How about this one? Something which is beyond our control or very difficult to control, such as making someone stop using drugs, for example, right? So a lot of people go in and out of rehab. Some others are successful, the others are not. So it seems like it's hard to change them. So how about that case study?
that one is handled in the last part, corroborating evidence. And in that chapter, the author discuss why intervention is the name of action to try to recover drug addicts. Why is it that intervention are much more successful than usually just the friends or the family? And one of the reasons is because the intervention, they use the who and the when. So first of all, the who. They take the people around this person, the family, neighbor, and put all of them in very close time scale. So usually when there is this addict, the family try to give advice, but it is only occasionally, maybe day one, and then day seven, and then day 30, and then day 60. So there is this span. Intervention try to rain down all the people in a short amount of time. So that has higher effect. That is the answer from this book. You need to concentrate. That is the word that is used. You need to concentrate the care from the people who matter to this person in a short time span.
Thank you. Is there any other question from Kamita or Gusti about changing someone individually? One, two, three. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, Donald, for sharing about the catalyst. Now, I have mentioned earlier that I cannot open cam. but I have the book with me called Industrial Revolution. Yeah, I will show it a little bit. So this is the book I'm reading. As usual, Donald, I scrapped through my library and there are 4 topics left. So you have to stick with it, okay? Industrial Revolution, and then there are 3 others later. So you expect that. And then this is, I'm gonna share the screen on the Goodreads description of the book. Basically, as usual, I love history. I also teach world history in school. So last month we talk about what is it called, renaissance, yeah, and then what comes after renaissance is industrial revolution. So this book talks about industrial revolution. That's why of all these 4 series I chose the industrial revolution first. So that's the reason why I chose this book. Okay, Gusti needs to go. Right, go ahead, Gusti. Next one is, what are the key takeaways from the books? Okay, so I rated this book 4. As you can see, this is my rating. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, here. I rated 4 out of 5. It's quite unusual for me to rate 4. I usually are quite generous in rate a certain book. But the reason why I rated this book 4 is because a lot of the information here are I have heard of it before, so nothing new almost. And also, usually the book contains personal information, but this one is quite limited. The personal information, like diary of people who lived in those times, are very limited. So, what my favorite part happened to be not there. And then the last one is because um, no insight basically, so only presenting information, but what's the lesson that we can get out of it is somehow missing in this book. Usually this book has some reflection of what we can learn from it, yeah, but this one like throwing you one fact over another, particularly what inventions that changed the world that time, ranging from, of course, the all famous steam engine, and then the spinning jenny, the one that can make they can make cotton into yarn, and then yarn into cloth. And then we have the invention of telegraph, and then um, railroad and things like that. Okay, so this is one information after another. But I think what I found the most interesting is about how child labor and slavery actually the situation was pretty bad. So the side effect of industrial revolution is actually that time there was child labor to the grand scale, and also that somehow uh, encourage people to take part in slavery trade basically, because now they can produce cloths at the record speed with this machinery. So they need the cotton to be picked at a record speed as well. So the way to do that efficiently is by importing a lot of slaves from West Africa to the US that time. Oh, by the way, Industrial Revolution is divided into 2. The first Industrial Revolution happened in the UK. That time is called Great Britain. And then the second one is in the US. The second Industrial Revolution happened in the US. The UK or Great Britain that time tried to hide the secret of this their own Industrial Revolution, including the blueprint of their factories, their invention, things like that, because they did not want other countries or other empires to copy the Industrial Revolution. But they were able to do that for around 40 to 50 years before the secret got out. So finally, it reached the United States as to prompt the second Industrial Revolution. The first factory, I forgot what was the first factory, but there was the first factory of, I forgot, I don't know which page this one. There was one factory that was built in the US, and that started the mark the start of the second industrial revolution. That is that one. it was common that time for families to sell their children to the factory. So there was this one interview of children who worked in this factory, right? So these children, very rare occasion, they got interviewed by the PS, Peter Smart. Interview many young workers. I don't know who this person was, but this Peter Smart uh, interviewed the children, and then they said they were sold by their own family, and they are bound to work for 6 years. Then they were forced to work 12 hours a day, Monday to Saturday, and then they were placed in a home for children, but they're not allowed to get out, basically. So almost like a prison. It is a prison. It was a prison. So it's interesting to me how, this situation where families or parents here sold their children to factories and they kept the money. So it's not even the children who actually earned the money. The money was given to the family upfront when they sold their children. So a lot of them are able to, or if they reach 17 years old, then they are allowed to get out of the children's house in this case. So, and then one time they even had to work for 19 hours when the demands for the products peaked. Yeah, 19 hours a day. So I think it's very um, grueling situation for them. And then the book talk about the reaction to industrial revolution, which is, I'm sure you know, the Luddites, right? Those people who smashed smash machinery because they're afraid machine will take over their job and things like that. And then another thing that was shocking is how dangerous it is to live or to work in a coal mine. So that time, two things that some became the heart and soul of industrial revolution. Number one is steel, because a lot of machineries are built using steel, uh, including the automobiles and all of this, right? Second of all is coal. And then in this case, they have an excerpt of newspaper where there was an explosion in coal mines. Yeah, and then 56 people died in one blast, basically, and almost none of them survived. And what's sad is that this type of incidents was very normal in those days. So I think after looking back, it's like uh, we have come a long way. I think the working condition, things like that. Um, the book talk about the first computer that was ever built and how this plan for the computer was abandoned for around 100 years until someone decided to build it in 1991 by Charles Babbage. So the first, I'm gonna show you the picture if I can. Yeah, yeah, able, yeah. So that is the picture of the first. Wait, does it work? No, no, no. Does it show? Oh, here, the first computer. Yeah, but it was built in 1991 because Charles Babbage only drew it on his invention book, but no one actually believed him enough to give him the money to actually build it. And then one last thing that I'm really jealous is about how this good governance that time in the case of the Great Britain and also the United States of America that time, they were willing to invest a lot of money to kick to help run this industrial revolution. For example, there's something called canal mania. So the government was willing to spend a lot of money to identify where can we build these canals so we can transport a lot of these goods quickly, basically. So they were so eager to invest, unlike our government, basically. So when if it's in our current or in our government in normal state, yeah, not just this administration, I think even though there is clearly a need, they don't even invest in it. But here, the British government that time uh, were willing to invest a lot of money, even begging for architects to actually identify, is there any canals we can build, please? Something like that. So they're the one who beg for projects to actually be done. And then the United States in this case was railroad. Yeah. So they allow private sectors to compete with each other to build railroads. Um, and it worked, you know. And then the last part is about how the reaction towards this industrial revolution is when the workers united to make a labor union, basically. So gave birth to the labor union where they demanded a better job and better working conditions, something like that. And also give birth to the Karl Marx famous idea of socialism, you know, communism, socialism. That's also the side effect of industrial revolution. Um, I think that is it. There are so many in it, but a lot of them are related to the process of inventing one technology after another, such as airplane, light bulbs, telegraph, and things like that. Okay, so that's what I could share about the book. Any questions about Industrial Revolution?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Donald?
Oh, Fajar also has a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So currently we are in the beginning of the AI revolution, and some people say it is comparable to the industrial revolution after the internet revolution and the smartphone. Now the AI is comparable to industrial revolution. Some people say so. What are
Mm-hmm.
the lessons from this book that you think can be applicable to this situation with the AI
Mm.
revolution for individuals and for nations?
Okay. First of all, the Industrial Revolution is totally different from the AI revolution because in the case of Industrial Revolution, they only replaced our energy or our uh, manpower, make it easy. So there were still a lot of jobs that needs brain to think. This were still within the grasp of human realm. But in the case of industrial revolution, sorry, AI revolution, it's not only because our manpower has been taken over by machine, but now their AI is taking over our cognitive ability as well. So if human is not needed for the manpower, plus not needed for the cognitive power as well, what is there left for us? So I think that is probably usually the result of comparing industrial revolution and AI revolution. The nature is different. So I think AI revolution is scarier than industrial revolution. But if I can probably draw a comparative line here, there's always rejection to a new technology. Always. There was even a rejection when blackboard was invented because they said if blackboard was invented or it made students lazy because they don't want to listen anymore. They just need to read the words on the blackboard and then copy it. Before blackboard, they had to listen carefully. See, then we know that blackboard is now very useful, but it took a slow process to accept the new normal of a certain technology. So I think probably the Luddites of the Industrial Revolution will always be there. But if we think that Industrial Revolution's response will somehow happen again, in the end, Luddites will give way. So they will give up. So anyone, I know a lot of schools now are against AI. They have a policy against AI, right? Including famous universities, such as all the Ivy Leagues, are now against AI usage in college. But I actually predict in a few years they will, like it or not, accept it to a certain point. So I don't know how we will somehow apa ya? We will somehow not collaborate. What do you call that? Like adapt to this new, or what do you call when there's a weakness and you have somehow to uh compensate. And not compensate, compensate. Like basically you have to deal with it. We have to find out how to deal with it in the next few years. Now there's Suno. Every songwriters under the sun now cannot even write songs in peace, because whenever they come up with good songs, oh, AI wrote this. So someone's like, what are we gonna do to prove that this is our own thinking rather than AI? Yeah. So I think AI is incompatible. AI revolution is incompatible to industrial revolution, but the response to it of resistance is still timeless. So that's my answer. Fajar, do you know some history of the work culture from 12 hours a day a week to now 9 hours work days? Who said that? Now people try to say work, what is it? 4 hour day week. 4 day, Fajar, I actually, the working hours is getting shorter, right, Fajar? Is that what you mean? Yes. Okay. I think this one is, there's a famous book called, what is that called, Donald? The 4 day week. 4 day week, yeah.
4 hour work week. I
Oh,
think that
four
is
hour work week, Fajar. There's even some extreme proposition that we only need to work 4 hours a week, right? Or shorter hours. I actually, probably this came from the idea to work smart rather than work hard, So people want to have free time in their hands to do whatever they want. That's why make their work somehow more compact. But I think the question here for me, more importantly, is if you do save time, what are you going to do with it? That's even more important for me. So if you're able to save 4 hours a day because you work using AI, or you work using technology, blah blah blah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with these 4 hours? Is it gonna be a productive thing, or is it gonna be a negative thing? Yeah. If you're gonna use it to do something useless or even uh, unproductive physically, then it's better for you not to have free time at all. What's the point, right? So I think, yeah, I don't know how they change it. I think it's from the labor union who tried to fight for better working condition, including the hours. Okay. All right. Is there any other? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now let's go to Kak Mita's work. Sorry, book. uh, it's called Wasiat Sufi Ayatullah Khomeini. Go ahead, Kak Mita. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. This is the book, has Wasiat Sufi of Ayatollah Khamenei. Before I start, I want to ask you questions. Has anybody heard the name of Ayatollah Khamenei?
Of course, the father of Islamic Revolution of era 1975.
Okay, good. All right. And what do you think about him? Is he a good guy? Because he passed away, was he a good guy or was he a bad guy?
Depends who you ask.
Huh?
Depends who you ask, Kak Vita, as usual.
I'm asking you here.
It's so complicated.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he
Good.
tried to do what's best for his country.
Okay, good answer. Very diplomatic, Mipit. Okay, and Fajar said it's not a black and white good or bad. Oh, good answer. Guys, you guys are so diplomatic here. So good to hear that. Okay, so I saw on the page this book that I bought this book in 2006 because maybe some of you know I'm a spiritual junkie. So I joined many cult no, or groups to get to know myself and to learn more about the spiritual practices. And one of the groups that I joined in the past was Shia, actually, the Islamic Shia. Who knows about Shia here or has heard about Shia?
I
Anyone
think we have
here?
general idea of what Shia is, Kak.
Okay, because in Islam, we believe that there are two groups, Sunni and Shia, and in Indonesia, majority Muslims are Sunni. But in Iran, most of them are Shia. Okay, Shia is basically step bros. That's so cool, Fajar. Step bros, exactly. Because now everyone is talking about this war, United States, Israel against Iran. So it made me want to look at this book again because one of the victims that died through this war was the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and he was the supreme leader of Iran. And Ayatollah Khamenei, who started the Islamic Revolution in Iran, was also the supreme leader of Iran, and he was quite famous. Why I chose this book, that was one of the reason. And when I read this book, I realized that in Shia, Ayatollah Khamenei was introducing the importance of relating religion and politics. And he learned that from his teacher. This is what I read on page 32. It says here that Ayatollah Khamenei learned there is a correlation between irfan. Irfan is a Persian word for tasawwuf or Sufism. And there is a correlation between Sufism and social political concern. And he says that Ayatollah Khamenei, just like his teacher, always criticized people who are bad in terms of the ahlak or in the characters, and also criticized the politicians and the leaders at that time. Because Khomeini said that at that time, the conditions of the Islamic society was very poor. And one of the reasons was about the professional approach to the politics. That's why he initiated the Islamic Revolution. So the Muslims gain their characters according to Sufism and to the Islamic jurisprudence. That was the reason why he started the Islamic Revolution. I want to bring in, I like this concept to correlate between the religion and politics. Why? Because when I was studying in US, especially when I was an exchange student, in high school, they really emphasized the separations between religion and school, between religion and politics, between religion and economy. And the results of the separation is capitalism, but the unconscious capitalism that cause hedonism, etc., etc. However, because of the Islamic revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini actually taught modesty and humility in living. How can we say that? In February 2nd, 1989, their Mahkamah Agung, what's the word in English for Mahkamah Agung? They found, Supreme Court, thank you, Pipit. They found that Ayatollah Khamenei did not increase his wealth during his leadership. And in fact, he only get one piece of land from inheritance from his dad. And before he died, he told the government give the land to the people, especially the poor, after he died. And the only asset that he owned was his house in Kum. And people said that, especially people coming from Indonesia who has visited him in Kum, they said that a very small house and very simple and modest, but many people came to visit him, especially students and teachers, lecturers, and common people. And the Supreme Court found out that he didn't have a lot of private things except books. Yeah. So that's the great thing about Shia, that their strength is the Islamic philosophy and Sufism or Irfan. Sufism is the one level above the Islamic philosophy. So the difference between the Western philosophy and the Islamic philosophy is one is separated from God, which is the Western philosophy. The Islamic philosophy is theosophy. So it derives from God. It enlightens us instead of changing to I think, therefore I am, which is Western philosophy. In Islamic philosophy is I am, therefore I think. I exist because of God, therefore I can think. That's the difference. Yeah. And in Irfan or in Sufism, it goes up, meaning that unity of God, or it's called gnosis. And it's not in Islam. It's even in Christianity, in Buddhism, in Hindu, and in other religions as of the concept of gnosis, where there is a kingdom of God within every one of us. Anal-Haq, I am the truth. So those are the sayings and the words of saints or of Jesus or other Sufis during their time. So that's the difference. So it means that the thinking and the theories and therefore actions are not coming from intelligence, but it comes from the intellect. What's the difference? The intellect is similar to intuition, which is divine knowledge. The intelligence on the rational knowledge, and they are different. Yeah. So the intellect, if it's divine, it's more sacred. Usually, it shows to the right path. So that's the difference between the Shia and the Shia emphasis on Islamic philosophy. So he loves books, and it says that the belongings that they found in his home mostly are books. So that's why I'm bookaholics, because I was following Shia order for 7 years, and Alhamdulillah, I received a scholarship. After that, it was a collaboration between University of Madinah and one university in Iran. I don't know the name, but our director or dean at that time was from Iran, a professor from Iran. And now they split, and the school became STF Mulasadra, or Sekolah Tinggi Filsafat Muladra. So if you heard of the school, if you've been to the school, that started from the idea of Ayatollah Khomeini, the Islamic Revolution. And other things that he owned was like day-to-day tools for living, and to use or second-hand carpets.
Eh, she's gone. Hello, hello.
Clean the
Okay. Oh,
house.
there you go.
He washed the dishes. He did his own laundry. And the wife did not remember if Ayatollah Khomeini was really angry at her even once. He was always soft, even since the first night they were married. And Ayatollah never asked her, like, what do you call that? Like commanding her or memerintah or something like that. But he was always politely requesting Like for example, when he needs a new clothes, he didn't know where the wife put the new clothes. So he just said, is there any extra new clothes that I can wear? Because he was always wearing the same clothes every day. He was very modest. Yeah. It's in the opposite of Donald Trump, where the Melania Trump is wearing Dolce Gabbana and all the designer clothes. Yeah, it's the opposite. That's why they're fighting. Yeah, you cannot compare Iran and US. One is on the modesty level 10, and the other one is in capitalist hedonist level 10. Yeah, especially the leaders. So you cannot compare both of them. That's why they are fighting all the time. And the children, one of the children is a female. Her name is Zahra Mustafawi, and she is a Islamic philosophy professor in Tehran University. She said that her father was very trustworthy, and he let her to go out without her asking permission or asking, where are you going? What time are you coming home? Never. He was really trustworthy of his daughter. So that's one thing, and I'm going to close with one of his poem. It's called uh, The Lover's Gaze. When he talks about lover, it means God. Yeah. My love, my life starts and ends at your door. Please let me end my time there. There is nothing else I need. In the shop, in the mosque, in the temple, on the floor of the idol place. I am silent in hope, and you are blessing me, and I'm worshiping you. There is no school that can makes me useful for my difficulty. There is no saint as well. Dear Lord, get me out of this misery with your gaze before my consciousness. Dear Lord, who is full of love. The further I know, give me your sight. Let the clarity comes to my heart always. I have abandoned my self-love. So now I exist. Dear Lord, please let me see your gaze from me who is really low in front of you. They call me the expert of passion. They call me a lover. Oh Lord, who gives the happiness to my heart. Never ever wear a cover. I have chosen a life like what is biksu? Yeah, I forgot the word in English for biksu. I have like a monk. Yeah, I have chosen a life like monk for my lover behind your veil, so I can see the gaze of his love and feel the ocean waves in a drop. So that's the best translation I can do. And yesterday in Iran, they were celebrating International Quds Day. And I just Google, not Google, I from AI, and I learned that International Quds Day was invented by Ayatollah Khamenei because he wanted to celebrate the relationship between Iran and Palestine, and he wants the people in the world to know that we need to support Palestine. Free Palestine. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Mita, for the explanation. And you read the book in Bahasa, and it's even but you explained it to us as if it was originally in English, yeah. So I appreciate the effort. Is there any question from the forum about this book or about Shia or about Khomeini? Okay, I have a question, Kak Vita. Hello.
Please.
Okay, so as you know, Khomeini died last week, right? In an airstrike.
That was
And
Ali Khamenei. It's not Khomeini. This one was
really,
Ayatollah Khomeini. So this one,
ah,
like
the
the so
grandfather.
they're two different people, yeah.
Okay. So, but then, the current supreme leader of Iran killed in the airstrike last week, and
Yes.
then the diaspora of Iran though is seen celebrating that, the diaspora, yeah, outside Iran. So, what do you think of that? Is it like a propaganda, or do you think they genuinely felt like they don't like the current
Okay.
government of Iran? Yeah.
That's a very good question, Pipit. And I'm answering on behalf of somebody who was in Shia, a follower for 7 years, and received a scholarship, my postgraduate degree in collaboration with Paramadina University and one of the Iran university, for 2 years for free. And so I think now I'm a universalist. Yeah. After I finished the degree, it made me deciding to join Tarekat that is called Mariamia Alawi, and I become a universalist. Universalist is like Javanese pluralist, yeah. So we pick the good fruits from any religions, yeah. So now back my aunt Asia, and then my 5 years living in US as well, as an exchange student and as a university student. And now as Indonesian, this is my personal opinion. I had a client, he's like a French Iranian, and his grandfather, he said that was one of the refugees that flee to France because of the revolution. And he told his parents were murdered there by people of Ayatollah Khomeini. So that was the time that I started listening to both sides of the story. So I think the diaspora are people who were following Reza Pahlavi. And if you went back and if you have watched the Argo by Ben Affleck, they told us in the movie that before Ayatollah Khomeini, there was Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi was the leader of Iran, chosen by CIA, by America. Why? Because before Reza Pahlavi, there was Mossadegh. Mossadegh was a kind of like a liberal, not the Ayatollah kind of leader, and then he was chosen by people of Iran. However, he was concerned about the poverty, about the living condition of people in Iran, and he decided to change the oil company from Beyond Petroleum, at that time was British Petroleum, or the name, to a national oil company, because he thinks that they would gain more profit by changing the ownership to Iranian company rather than the ownership belonging to the British petroleum. British government was not happy, and Israel American government was not happy with the decision. So they tried to change the regime like what they're doing right now, and replacing Mossadegh with Reza Pahlavi. And Reza Pahlavi, of course, like American capitalist, he introduced the capitalistic lifestyle, the hedonistic lifestyle that they did not know, and some people love it. And people, the follower who is already accustomed and benefit from capitalism, when Ayatollah Khomeini decided to do the revolution, they ran away. They moved to other countries, and some of them were too, yeah, because of the political concern. So there are two sides of the story. So there is no good or no bad. So for me, the diaspora are happier outside of Iran because just I told you, Iran is like opposite of modernity and simplicity on one hand. America is not majority, yeah, only few is like the opposite of the 10 from scale 1 to 10 and 10. So both of them are the opposites. So my suggestion, if you like the way you live in the modern world, like in Europe or in America, stay there. Don't go to Iran. Yeah, you can visit your friends and family because you know when you go to Iran, you will live accordingly to the new supreme leader, which is now Mujtaba Ali Khamenei, is the son of the murdered Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Yeah, may he rest in peace. So it's like us in Indonesia. We have diversity. We have people who is probably Muslim wearing hijab, but there are people like me, Muslims, who don't wear hijab. Luckily, this country is not based on the Sharia. But if I go to Aceh, I will burn. Yeah, I will be punished in Aceh for not wearing hijab. So I will never go to Aceh. Yes, I know for sure. Because I don't want to be punished for something that I'm used to doing in Jakarta. I can't do in Aceh. I know for sure. So I'm not going there. So they just they go and they were very careful. I don't want to do that. I'd rather go to Bali instead. So it's choice. That's my answer to you. And not in Iranian, I don't know. They have different answers. So this question probably should be asked to them. But for me, an Indonesian, that's the best I can answer you. Back to you.
Thank you. Kak, I would like to make a confirmation. It's true it was Ayatollah Khomeini who got killed in an airstrike, 28th of February this year.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
this
got
one.
killed
No,
28th.
this one is different, Pipit.
Oh,
That
this
This
one
one is
one
is
is
different.
that one is
Khomeini.
Khomeini, died in
Oh, okay.
1989.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So this one is Khamenei.
1989.
This
Yeah.
Khamenei and
So
Khomeini.
yeah,
Okay.
Khomeini and Khamenei. And now it's Mujtada Khamenei is the son. Yeah, it's rare. Usually they don't like the son. Yeah? I don't know the reason, but he lost his daughter. The name is Zahra as well, because the name Zahra is very famous in Iran. It's named after Fatima al-Zahra, the daughter of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's very common, yeah. The name Ali, Zahra, it's a Shia name. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other question from the forum? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Kak Mita, for sharing.
thank
Let's
you.
go to Gusti, who will share about the outliers. Let's go, Gusti.
Yeah, hello, I'm here. So,
Wow, Gusti, you see how you look?
like an alien, I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, but go
I
ahead.
don't know how
Yeah,
to fix this. Usually it's not like this. Okay, so
it's
it's
okay. It's
about
okay.
the outlier, yeah, the outliers. The story of successful people. So maybe you are familiar with the terms like we don't need to go to university. Bill Gates drop out from Harvard and he can be rich anyway. Yeah, you must be familiar with that term, right? And usually people like really like the story of successful people who start everything from zero and then overcome every hardship and then go to the top, something like that. But what is not widely discussed is about the privilege, yeah, the privilege. And recently there are many talks about privilege in Indonesia in social media, especially like when there are some rich person, yeah, they are quite young and then they are considered so successful in a really young age, and they always said something like I got it from my own, like I don't use any of my parents richness, and usually it it's like rich bait, yeah, like makes people who see it like become so angry, like who says you are not privileged, who says you are not you are starting everything from zero. No, you're not from zero, you have privileges, your parents, and you have safety nets to apa ya, to hold you if even if you fail, ya. You don't like other ordinary people who will lose everything if they fail. And this story and this book tells many things about privilege, yeah. So we will not like oversimplify and generalize the successful story, and like more deeper into the each factor of every success story. So it's about privilege actually, like, and privilege is not all not only about the parents, yeah, the richness of your parents, the richness of your family, but it also related to when you are born, when you were born, and like from what ethnicity you are, and like what cultural aspect that surround you. So at first, this book talk about a city in Rosetta, Pennsylvania. It's like the city of a town of people who migrate from southern Italian. Yeah. So and then they name those the city like their original place in Italia, and uh, someday there was a doctor came into that town, and then he found that no one in that town died due to heart attack. So most people there die because of old age, and he was very surprised. So he asked his friend, his college, to make a research to the people of Rosetta, and they found that actually what the people eat there is just ordinary food, like nothing special, but they has they had this really strong community, uh, strong connection between the community, like the house is not only dwelt by one family, but there are three generations in the family, so like they live in really communal, and the relationship is really good, like the neighbor are taking care of each other, and they sharing food, and then the elder generation was being respected so much, and they also help their people who are still not success. So it's like a strong connection there, and apparently it was the first time community, the factor of community is considered in the world of psychology, toward the what is it, lifespan of other people, of people, like related to the health of people. Yeah, so Rosetta is called outliers. Yeah, outliers means that there are no other place that is like Rosetta, or even if there is a place like that, it's, yeah, it's really rare. And then it moved to like, okay, discuss some privileged people like Bill Joy, the one who built Sun Microtech. He was the one who developed Java program, and also Bill Gates also Bill Gates story is also told here. And not only they were born from rich family, they also born in a really right time. So like Bill Joy, when Bill Joy entered Michigan University, he actually didn't take computer and information technology department at first. Yeah, he took mathematics and technical engineering. But at that time, his university built a computer center, like the first computer center in that city, and he went into that place and fell in love with computer. And the computer was considered really advantage at that time because years ago, decades ago, computer was really big. Yeah, computers were really big, and the program is like so complex. Yeah, they have a punch card something like that. But in this computer center, they can make the users use the computer simultaneously, so like they didn't need to take turn in using the computer. And also and then Bill Joy uh, spend so many time in that computer center. And actually for each student there is a time limitation to use the computer center, so like they have like this the account rekening. They have like this account that if the account is, maybe it's related to the money. If the account is run out of its content, then they have to stop using the computer. But at that time, the students, including Bill Choi, found there is like a weakness in the program. So like they could hack the program, and so they can use the computer for 24 hour without time limitation. Yeah, so and thus he could use the computer and develop his skill uh, whenever he likes and as long as he likes. And also about Bill Gates, yeah, Bill Gates also from really luxurious high school from Seattle, yeah, Lakeside. And those rich people like to what is it, raise for donations. Yeah, they like to raise for uh, dana, mereka mengumpulkan dana ya. And then uh, when Bill Gates was in the school, the club decided to buy a computer, and the computer is also more advanced than the other computer, even from the central computer in the Seattle. And there was also like a company that like make a joint venture with the school, so like they let the students to use the computer at their place for free. Everything is for free. And like there is a saying that we can be an expert in any field if we have spent 10,000 hours. And basically that's what Bill Gates and Bill Joy got, from their young era. So they got this really rare chance to practice in 10,000 hours because of those special circumstances. Like if Bill Joy didn't enter the school, the university in that exact time, maybe he would not get that computer, and then he would not he would not find the weakness on the program that will let him to use the computer 24 hour. And it is also stated in this book that actually the rich people who is like they like in the
Gusti, 3 more minutes.
yeah, in the technic information technology, like the rich people in information technology industries, all of them are like were born at the around the time when Bill Joy and Bill Gates born. And at that time American economy is start to raise, and every like the economy is well, and then many things, many things contribute to the success of those people. So like if they were born at the different time, they would not get the same success. And also with the culture, yeah, cultural aspect, when it is said about when it told about the influence of a cultural aspect to people successful, the example is about the plane accident. So like in Korea, the plane accident was so high, yeah, because the co-pilot are like they put respect too much to the captain, that if the captain did some mistakes, the co-pilot couldn't uh what is it couldn't correct the pilot, the main pilot, because of the social hierarchy culture in Korea. And it also happened in certain country, like in southeast southern, yeah, southern, what is it, Southern America. Like they were so like anxious, yeah, when they have to deal with the tower watcher what is it, pengawas menara pesawat in America, because American tend to be really straight, yeah, really straightforward, and they are not used to deal with those kind of straightforward. So like they become so anxious and then make a mistake when they needed to land the what is it, land the plane, yeah, something like that. And it also discuss about how asian Asian immigrants has more like uh, a, more skills in mathematics, because they are more accustomed to like wake up in the morning, and then the and it connected to the culture of farming culture, that they need to get up in the morning and then plant the rice like really diligently, and that's how it reflected to their culture. So that's why they becomes more put more hard work in mathematics and other lessons than uh, Americans itself. So yeah, basically it's like what it teach me is this book taught me about like don't be too amazed with other people's success, like just ya biasa aja gitu loh. How to say it in English, ya just act normal. Like everyone has their own privileges, like you don't know what kind of privilege he or she has. It doesn't mean that we don't consider their hard works at all, but in fact not all hard works paid, not all hard works paid, because this book also talk about a genius person named Chris Langan, who is really genius, but like
Gusti,
yeah.
it's almost 20 minutes. I think you need to open question and
Oh
answer
yeah.
session.
Okay, so yeah, that's my presentation. Sorry if it's too long, but yeah, I think you got the point. Like about the privilege, yeah, there are many factors, yeah, X factors behind everyone's success. So it's not that simple. means we cannot say like just do it, you can be successful. Not that simple. We have to consider every little small condition in people, yeah, in each people's condition. Okay, any question?
Okay. A classic book, The Outliers. Any question for Gusti?
You have read this ya Mbak Pipit ya?
We have what?
You have read this book ya? Have you read this book?
I have read this book, yeah. It's a classic
Ah,
book. Yeah.
yeah.
For Ratib, I see you open your mic.
That's
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Kak Gita.
Pipit, I have a question for Gusti. So yeah,
Yes.
interesting because I talked about this with my mom that so what do you think about our assumption that children of rich people they will become rich as well because they have access to better education and they have access to network of their parents.
Yeah.
But the children of the poor people, they can be rich, but it's likely that they will be poor because they don't have enough money to go to Ivy League school or to go to good school or to buy even like what happened. I don't know if it's true that one student committed suicide because he couldn't buy a pencil or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, is this true, Gusti? What do you think based on the outlier?
Well, I think that has much true ya, bukan many ya, much truth ya in that that thoughts ya, that the rich will be richer and the poor will be poorer or will stay poor, and it will be hard for them to social climb. In this book, is also discussed that that most rich children, of course, the rich children who has good relationship with their family, their parents like really take control of their free time, so like put them into so many courses, and those give them more times to practice and to develop their talents. But the children of ordinary people, they tend to like the parents tend to like just let their children do whatever they want in their free time, like maybe because they don't know the information of the courses, or maybe they don't have any money to put their children into special courses. That's why the like in holiday, even in holiday, those rich children still studying because they have courses. But the children of ordinary people, they just play around, and it's also proven in the research here, like the reading skills of children from rich parents and compared to the reading skills of children from ordinary parents is quite different. So like after the holiday, like before the holiday, the skill are in the same were in the same level, but after the holiday, then the rich children showed more like apa ya, more development, yeah, more significant development because of that. And this also told about Chris Langan, ya, Chris Langan, like a really genius person, but unfortunately he couldn't contribute anything in scientific development because he was dropped out from his university, and it is because like he was so awkward in facing people. So like when he got something like sick or being late because of certain unavoidable condition, the administration at the university wouldn't give him any keringanan, yeah, wouldn't give any keringanan. And then he also lost his scholarship because his mother didn't know what to do to prolong the scholarship. And he compared to Robert Oppenheimer, the one who created the atomic bomb, yeah. Robert Oppenheimer was actually a bit problematic when he was still in college because he once tried to kill his lecturer, but because he was so charismatic, and he was charismatic because his parents raised him to be like that, like he had so many good communication skills because of his social status. He only obliged to go to the psychiatrist, but he didn't lose anything, and it is because he was so privileged, yeah. There is no self-made person. There is some self-made person, but maybe it will take like many generations for them to reach the level of those privileged people. So maybe like if they are like they're the first one, yeah, in the family to be successful and get high education, and he is in the first generation, but maybe his success is not as amazing as those privileges. Maybe it will need like second generation and third generation to build a kingdom of business just like those rich person. But even though self-made, yeah, like I said, there are so many factors, yeah, influencing people's success. It's not just our hard work, but also our surroundings, like uh, do we have right person, right mentor, right tutor around us? Do we have like right community to support us? And do we have right facility support us at that certain moment? And not every person, no matter how hard work they are, can get it, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the answer, Gusti. Any other question? From
I,
Suryani?
I want to comment a bit.
I
If
have
there is
asked
Oh,
permission.
okay.
me.
Donald.
So I want to comment on Suryani's question about self-made.
Okay, Dono.
Yeah, so if you go to Forbes.com, the magazine, to the billionaires profile, they have something called self-made score, ranging from 1 to 10. So there are some people with 10 score, meaning they are self-made at the highest level. So I will paste one example in the chat. You can check it out. So there is self-made score there. This one is at a 10, the highest. Okay, thank you. Back to Pipit.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you. They say privilege is invisible to those who have it. So those who claim they are self-made probably cannot see it if other people help them. I believe no one is successful by themselves. Just my opinion. All right. So Fajar just messaged me. He would like to skip sharing his book. If he also has not finished it, right, Fajar, right? So I hope with the new time, more people can come. And can I know who Foratip is?
Wait, Pipit. We
Who?
are fixed at 3 p.m. The default is
Uh-huh.
still 12, right?
Yes. Before, who is Foratip? Do you know, Donald?
His name before the change was Ilham or something like that.
Oh, Ilham. Do you have any Ilham in the group? Foratip is
Oh,
Ismail.
Isam.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Welcome, Pak Mitasan.
Welcome.
All right. So can we please pose to take photo? I will, as usual, edit in my own photo when I'm ready. Bring a book. Grab one close by. I
Yeah.
would like to see one by one. What is it? What did you have, Suryani? The
So
19.
by default our time is still 12 p.m. Yeah, until otherwise discussed.
Oh, okay. 3. Oh, wait, Gusti. 3, 2, 1. Okay, see you guys next week, next month. Bye bye. Enjoy
Bye bye. Thank you,
Saturday.
everyone.
Everyone.